So here's today's load for going home. Groceries, everything that's going in the basket, and then everything going inside the cab. Just waiting for the helicopter to get back. Okay, everybody, I'm home. Got delayed one day due to rain. I had a dentist appointment the day after I crew changed, and then it rained hard all that day. But the following day, I was supposed to fly, and the weather was horrible. So got out here yesterday. Weather was pretty decent. It's turned cloudy overnight, and we got like 10 days of rain coming in. So I'm gonna be stuck in the cabin. I'm gonna go. I get a lot of questions about the audio. That they say they have a hard time hearing me, and it's frustrating for me with the equipment that I have. Now this winter, I do want to upgrade to DJI and their new microphone system, which is similar to this, but not as big and bulky, and has better mounting options. Problem I have with this, the two main problems, is no matter how I clip it onto my clothes, they fall off into the snow, and I've been lucky to find them. The other issue that I have with it is it rubbing against my clothes or whatever I'm carrying, and then you hear so third problem I have with it is it all of a sudden stop picking up audio at all, and I'm left with a bunch of footage with no audio when I connect it to the GoPro. I'm over it with GoPro. Their equipment is so quirky. I'm over it. I won't buy anything GoPro. These Voltas, they forget what they are, and you gotta reinstall them and reconnect them. And then if you switch cameras, I got two of these. So if you switch cameras, it forgets what it's doing, and they're just a nightmare. The cameras aren't much better. They do take great footage and everything, but all the quirky stuff just kills it. So probably going to go to all DJI. So let's say I'm shooting on this small rig mount, which I love these. These things are excellent. You can put it on a tree or on the handlebar of the ATV or whatever's nearby, a ladder, the porch, a 2x4, it doesn't matter. So I use these a lot. The other thing that I use that everybody seems to hate this thing. I wear this around my neck, so my mouth is right here, and then all you hear is me breathing. And then, because I'm always moving around doing stuff, yeah, I might be breathing hard, but that's my mouth is that far away from the mics. So I'm going to pretty much stop using this. It gives you a pretty good POV view, but yeah, I'm tired of it. So the problem with the GoPro, shooting with the GoPro, is anytime I need to hook up the Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone system that I have, I need to install it in the media mod. So to do that, take it off the mount, and you got to close the fingers. You got to take off the standard battery cover, and then it slides in, makes the connection there. It has a 1/4 down there, but I can't put these on because of the way it's designed. And you got to dig the fingers out, and this is great when it's like -25 and you're trying to get these. So a lot of times I end up starting it like this, and then this starts hitting on the camera media mod, and I can't tighten the camera all the way up. It's because I forget. it's got a cutout here, so you got to come in from this side. Now keep in mind, I got to do this every time I want to change a battery with the GoPro. The DJI and the Insta cameras have a magnetic mount. Just clip on, off, real easy. So, that's great. And it'll pick up through this microphone. But then if I'm far away from the camera, you're not going to hear me unless I have this system on. So, we'll mount the receiver, which covers half of the record button. Now I could put it on the side here, I guess. They do have a cold shoe on the side, but it doesn't quite work. So you got to go on the top one. So now I got the wire on. Now I got to power that up, hold for 3 seconds. Power up the mic, or both of them. All right, so the mic is now on. And then so now the record button's half covered up. I got to test this, make sure it's working, and it is right now. The problem I've had in the past too is I'll be recording and then this all just stops working. I'll have a bunch of footage with no audio. So it's maddening. Audio is a big problem. Big problem shooting video. Video's easy, audio's not. So definitely need to step up my game, but this is what I got to work with right now until I get the new equipment this winter. So now I'm ready to shoot. And then, of course, I clip this to my clothes, and then that falls off 10 seconds into shooting. Then I'll have a bunch of video, and maybe I'm 20 feet away from this, and it's still picking up my voice a little bit, so I might have some salvageable audio, but that's the big problem with these, is just falling off my clothes and then the clothes rubbing on them. And I'm going to show you when I drive down the trail today. I'll get this all rigged up just like this on the GoPro. I'll have this on my jacket. I'm going to be changing cards out on my trail cameras, seeing what's in the neighborhood right now. So, yeah, you'll hear it firsthand. All right, we're going to run down the trail, check my cameras, see what's been in the neighborhood, shoot a little video with some fancy Rode Wireless Go audio. And I think I have everything I need. Oh, extra battery. I remember the extra batteries. We'll just take one. Okay. Get some boots on. All right, I got pistol. Shotgun's already on the ATV. Take a set of gloves. Throw my knife on. Let's get the tool bag. Throw a couple bear sprays in there. All right, we'll load everything up onto the ATV, and I'll come back. I have some compost that I need to bury down there too. So right now I'm on the neck mount using the GoPro microphone that's on the GoPro. So what I'll do for this ride down the trail, I will mount this right here. I should have brought that. I should go get the other mount. I'm not though. Too much going on. All right. Now you gotta remember, now I usually take these and I'll clip them here so I remember to put them on. I guess I'll keep that seat on here. I was gonna switch seats out, but I got to dump the gas off. Let me get the tool bag mounted. And I need a shovel. What should I do with the gas? I'll put it in the ATV shed. So I got my mic on. I gotta check this, make sure that's on. Hit my record button, which is half covered up. Clip this on my jacket somewhere and hope it stays on. Okay, so I got the microphone here in my pocket. Got the Scandic in the ATV shed right now. So that's the one cool thing about these mics is now you should have good, clear audio of me. I can be 20 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet away from the camera and still clear audio. Which the neck mount gives me too, but then I'm breathing in it all the time because that far away from my mouth. I need a shovel. So I take the kitchen compost and I'll bury it down in the garden. For now, until I get a compost pile once the garden's up and running one of these years. Just let that air out for now. Let's run down and check out the trail cameras. I have one camera right here I need to go check. Make sure one's in the pipe. Hopefully I turned this one on. And it was. So got that camera. The next camera's down at the high tunnel. Alright, so I'm going to jump up here and get this camera card switched out. Card number 5. Hiccups. While I'm shooting a video about audio, I get hiccups. Great. Check the battery status of all of these. That one's still good. So we'll format that thing real quick. All right. Put that on. This is about the only camera that no animals can really get to. All the rest of them up in trees, the bears just climb up the trees and mess with them. Doesn't matter if you put them 5 foot up, 10 foot up, or 20 foot up. There's the hiccups. So check this out. I've got some lettuce. Or is it spinach? That's lettuce. Well, okay. Enough for about 2 salads. So I'm going to bury some kitchen waste here, and the bears will probably find it within 2 or 3 days. Leave the trailer here while I run down the trail, because I don't need that. Yeah, so I'll just give it a couple days, and the bears will find this. Let's realign this. The fireweed is all dead. All the flowers are gone. I'm still stuck in 4-wheel low with this thing, so I gotta kind of crawl around. I got the little electric motors, which I think is the problem. I think the electric motor for the actuator is burnt up, and I think that's what's tripping the fuses. Trying not to get the lens wet on that forward mounted camera. There's some watermelon berries. Look pretty good. They are definitely ripe. trail back up in here. The blueberries are all over the place. I'll show you them later. So in the morning I can just walk out my door and pick some blueberries 10 feet from the cabin and throw them in my pancakes. Wow. The grasses are tall. With all that rain that we got this year. So I'll get this camera aimed up there while I do my thing. Battery's probably gonna get low here pretty soon. How's the audio sound? How's the audio sound? All right. Check battery power. Good. Good. Let's reformat the SD cards. These Guard Pros are really good cameras for the money. They're very inexpensive. They shoot great video, decent audio. Batteries last a long time. The menu is super easy, intuitive. You don't even need to read the manual. Throw some batteries in it, press menu, and set it up. Just a piece of cake. All right, next camera. I'm afraid to go down there because it's going to be too wet. So I have a camera down there on my logging trail. I'm not going to be able to get to it. All right, next camera. I'm afraid to go down there because it's going to be too wet. So I have a camera down there on my logging trail. I'm not going to be able to get to it. I mean, I can, but I'll probably get stuck. Have to use the winch. Not doing it. Everything's so overgrown, you can't see 15 feet back into the woods. All right, turn it off. Pull the card. Put a new card up in there, we'll format it. What are we looking like on the batteries? Had those heavy wet snowfalls that dropped everything right across the trail. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year. Hopefully we get a brutal cold snap that freezes the lake before the snow hits. That really sets up the lake ice very nicely and quickly. If the lake gets a thin layer of ice and then snow, the snow insulates it and kind of keeps the lake from freezing up solid, thickly and quickly. All right, that camera's up here, and I'm not resetting you this time. All right, that camera's up here, and I'm not resetting you this time. So this camera is about 10 foot off the ground right now, and by end of winter, the snow will be about 10 feet deep here. Sometimes I have to move it further up the tree. Spin this around so y'all can see the trail. This is the fern trail. The ferns are dying back, so they're not as thick as they would be in like July. So this next camera, I'm going to walk to it, and we'll see how far away that these microphones pick up audio, because where I park the ATV and where I'm walking to is about 200 feet. Get the trailer hooked up. Switch this back around. Cut that tree back. Dead spruce laying almost across the trail. Okay, so let's switch out this battery. Powering off. This is the other thing, is you got to have the tiniest little fingers in the world to get on the knobs. Just poorly designed. The magnetic mounts are so nice. So to get this out of there, fold those. Got to take that off to fully open that to get this out, and you can see the fog. See the fog underneath the lens there? That's great. That battery is smoking hot too. All right, and now if it's negative 25 and you gotta pick these out of there, that's always fun. This has got to come in from this direction only, and then get your little fingers in there. Put this back on. I didn't power it off, so it should have kept recording audio throughout that whole thing on this device, not on the camera. As soon as I power it on, it should record to the SD card in the camera. All right, audio check, check, check. Spinning around this way because that's where I'm going. So it's about 200 feet to that camera. I got the neck mount on still. Got plenty of battery in that one. All right, audio check, check, check. Spinning around this way because that's where I'm going. So it's about 200 feet to that camera. I got the neck mount on still. Got plenty of battery in that one. So that's the other thing, is when you're connected, have additional stuff connected, like this media mod and the mics, the batteries die really, really quick in that for some reason. So let's go get the SD card. Take a shotgun. And my neck mount will record everything all the way there. The mics, they might cut out once I get too far away from the camera that's on the ATV right now. Mushrooms everywhere. I'm 100 yard zero targets. So turn around on the corner of the porch to here is 100 yards. Some blueberries. Tart, very tart. Some chanterelles. Okay. So this is the very edge of my property. So this is the northwest corner of my property. It's kind of a special spot because this is where I want to be buried. Overlooking Mount Denali. Right in here. So behind those 100-yard targets is this big giant rock here, which goes down and over the cliff a little bit. So any shots that get past there will hit the rock. A perfect place for that rock. So the view today stinks from here. I mean, it's okay. On a clear day, it's absolutely beautiful. If I ever had to rebuild my cabin, I would probably move it from the spot that it's at now and put it over here on this general area. Hopefully I never have to do that, but so yeah, until it dries up, I won't be running the trail again. I'll just be rutting the trail all up. So I'll see during the editing if the mic's cut out. I forget what the documentation on this microphone set had as the limit. Where are the gates at? Oh, they're underneath. I put them underneath to keep it up off the ground. Okay. 2 pieces of T111 under there, and I gotta finish the gable ends on the new shower sauna, so I need a little piece off of each end. I got to come over here and box all this stuff up because this is all getting flown back to town. There's a refrigerator and an old oil drip heater and just miscellaneous junk. That'll be slung load by helicopter back to town. I'll dispose of it properly. Pull this blue sled out and the red one. Get some sled maintenance going. Not much to do on them, but look at all the blueberries over here. Bunch of them. Yeah, they're tart. They are slightly overripe. Missed them by about a week or two. Still good, but juicy. Yeah, so this winter, these sleds are going to be put to use, bringing out a lot of construction material to do the workshop and the rest of the woodshed. I'll see what I can get done with the woodshed this year with the scrap from the workshop. Maybe nothing. We'll see. So you see on this red sled how it has the pintle hitch on the rear of it. I'm also putting one on here. This one has half length runners and it has 2 ice skegs. This one's got 1 ice skeg. So what the blue one does in the snow right now is it slides to the left and the right. It needs these white full-length runners. The metal skegs are for ice. So you track straight on ice. I don't have a whole lot of ice to deal with. Only want to get down close to town in the winter near the railroad bridge. Yeah, so I got the steel roofing for the shower sauna, and I was going to get it slung load out here, but I have so many other little things I need to do. That's dried in, and I can sling load that the next time I come home. Sling that in with a little bit of lumber, and get that trash over at the landing zone, get that taken back into town. And man, there's just so many small little things I got to do. The list is just endless. But get done as much as I can, as fast as I can. Hard to do some of the stuff when it's raining all the time, but yeah, the list is just so long. I got to fix the brake switch on this. I got to pull the four-wheel drive actuator out from the front diff, replace the little electric motor in there, see if that fixes the issue with the constant 4x4. That seat, I got a good seat in the ATV shed, but this is a sacrifice to the bears if they come around. I'd rather them shred this one all the way up than the brand new one. All right, let's go back up to the cabin. Now there's the parts for the blue sled. It's got a little load lock. I'm going to put it on there too. I'll show you all about that.